Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before we start our Srimad Bhagavatam class, let us do a simple Mangala Charana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaim Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nastaparesha Vadareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavade Naistikihi Om Jnana Tivirandasya Jnana Jnana Salakaya Chaksuramritanjana Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnumadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimite Japataka Swami Tinamni Nama Charabadayani Tai Kripapadayani Gora Katadam Dai Nirigram Tani Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gora Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome everyone to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, chapter number 7, chapter entitled The Puranic Literatures. This chapter will be narrated by Sri Suta Gosvami, who describes the expansion of the branches of the Atharva Veda. He enumerates the compiler of the Puranas and explains the characteristics of the Puranas. He then lists the 18 major Puranas and finishes his account by stating that any person who hears about this matter from someone in a proper disciplic succession will acquire spiritual potency. So let's begin. Text number 1. Suta Goswami said, Sumantu Rishi, the authority of the Atharva Veda, taught his Samhita to his disciple Kadambha, who in turn spoke it to Patya and Veda Darsha. Text number 2. Saulagyani, Brahma Bali, Modoso and Pipalayani were disciples of Veda Darsha. Hear from me about the names of the disciples of Patya. My dear Brahmana, they are Kumunda, Sunaka and Jajali. All of them knew the Atharva Veda very well. Text number 3. Baharu and Sandhihavayana, disciple of Sunaka, studied the two divisions of their spiritual master's compilation of the Atharva Veda. Sandhihavayana disciple Sravana and the disciple of other great sages also studied this edition of Atharva Veda. Text number 4. Nakshtrarakalpa, Santikalpa, Kasyapa, Angira Rasa and others were also among the acharyas of the Atharva Veda. Now, O sage, listen as I name the authorities on Puranic literatures. Text number 5. Trayaruni, Kasyapa, Sarvarani, Arthavrana, Vaisampayana and Harita are the 6 masters of the Puranas. Text number 6. Each of them studied one of the 6 anthologies of the Puranas from my father, Romaharshana, who was a disciple of Srila Vyasadeva. I became the disciple of these 6 authorities and thoroughly learned all of their presentations of Puranic wisdom. Text number 7. Romaharshana, a disciple of Veda Vyasa, divided the Puranas into 4 basic compilations. The sage Kasyapa and I, along with Sarvani and Aktavarana, a disciple of Rama, learned these 4 divisions. Text number 8. O Saunaka, please hear with attention the characteristics of a Purana, which have been defined by the most eminent learned Brahmanas in accordance with Vedic literatures. Text number 9 and 10. O Brahmana, authorities on the matter understand a Purana to contain 10 characteristic topics: the creation of this universe, the subsequent creation of the worlds and beings, the maintenance of all living beings, their sustenance, the rule of various manus, the dynasty of great kings, the activities of such kings, annihilation, motivation, and other supreme shelters. Other scholars state that the great Puranas deal with these 10 topics, while lesser Puranas may deal with 5. Text number 11. From the agitation of the original modes within the unmanifested material nature, the Mahatattva arises. From Mahatattva comes the element's false ego, which divides into three aspects. This threefold false ego further manifests as the subtle forms of perception, as the senses, and as the gross sense object. The generation of all these is called creation. Text number 12. The secondary creation which exists by the mercy of the Lord is the manifest amalgamation of the desire of the living entities. Just as a seed produces additional seeds, activities that promote material desire in the performance produces moving and non-moving life forms. Text number 13. Vritti means the process of subsistence by which the moving being lives upon the non-moving. For a human, vritti specifically means acting for one's livelihood in a manner suited to his personal nature. Such action may be carried out either in pursuant of selfish desire or in accordance with the law of God. Text number 14. In each age, the infallible Lord appeared in this world among the animals, human beings, sages and demigods. By his activities in this incarnation, he protects the universe and kills the enemies of Vedic culture. Text number 15. In each reign of Manu, 6 types of personalities appears as manifestation of Lord Hari: the ruling Manu, the chief demigods, the son of Manu, Indra, the great sages, and the partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 16. Dynasties are lines of kings originating with Lord Brahma and extending continuously through past, present and future. The account of such dynasties, especially of their most prominent members, constitute the subject of dynastic history. Text number 17. There are 4 types of cosmic annihilation: occasional, elemental, and continuous and ultimate, all of which are effected by the inherent potency of the Supreme Lord. Learned scholars have designated this topic dissolution. Text number 18. Out of ignorance, the living beings perform material activities and thereby become one. In one sense, the cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction of the universe. Some authorities call the living beings the personalities underlying the material creation, while others say he is unmanifested self. Text number 19. The Supreme Absolute Truth is present throughout all the stages of awareness: waking consciousness, sleep and deep sleep, throughout all the phenomenal manifestation by the illusory energy, and within the functions of all living entities. And he is also exists separate from all these. Thus situated in his own transcendence, he is the ultimate and unique shelter. Text number 20. Although a material object may assume various forms and names, its essential ingredient is always present as the basis of its existence. Similarly, both conjointly and separately, the Supreme Absolute Truth is always present with the created material body throughout its phase of existence, beginning with conception and ending with death. Text number 12. Either automatically or because of one's regulated spiritual practice, one's mind may stop functioning on the material platform of waking consciousness, sleep and deep sleep. Then one understands the super soul and withdraws from material endeavor. Text number 22. Sages, expert in ancient histories, have declared that the Puranas, according to their various characteristics, can be divided into 18 major Puranas and 18 secondary Puranas. Text number 23 to 24. The 8 major Puranas are the Brahma, Padma, Vishnu, Shiva, Linga, Garuda, Narada, Bhagavata, Agni, Skanda, Bhavishya, Brahma Vaivarta, Markandeya, Vamana, Varaha, Matsya, Kurma, and Brahmanda Purana. Text number 25. I have thoroughly described to you, O Brahmana, the expansions of the branches of the Vedas by the great sage Vyasadeva, his disciples and the disciples of his disciples. One who listens to this narration will increase in spiritual strength. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.